Welcome to the best hour of their day podcast with your hosts, Jason Fernandez.
And me, Jason Ackerman. With more than 20 years in the business,
as both coaches and affiliate owners,
our passion is to help create world-class affiliates
and coaches by building
better boxes. Welcome to
the best hour of your day.
This is the annual tradition, Vern.
Happy 1-year anniversary.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
We wrapped up last year with you. I feel like we're building a rapport, friendship. Thanksgiving dinner is going to happen this year at the Faul House. Is that true? You're inviting us?
I'm glad you feel that way.
I did want to congratulate you on not spilling the beans about where the next games is going to go. So
you've been waiting for this show.
It's a vault.
It's
a vault. We'll
Israel?
See. Exactly. That's right. That's right.
You heard it.
How did you guess
heard
that?
it here first.
No, that was a. I know I've seen you. I will say heated, maybe about like stuff making it out of calls, and that has been clearly
heated's fair.
That's been clearly
one way to describe it. Yes,
that's been clearly taken care of, so that's good.
But your wife's Uber driver
yeah.
did say it was going to be in Spain.
Ooh,
yeah.
Who is that guy? We got to lock that down. Stat.
Jess, your Uber driver mentioned it, right?
We have no idea who this guy is.
Word
I was like,
has
who's your
gotten
source?
out.
It's Uber driver Bob. Yeah.
Let's talk about this. Since last year, how fit does this guy look?
I don't know if you're doing your CEO role.
thank you.
Look at the confidence.
Not a ton of CEO work.
that's
He's getting his fitness on.
That's after 6 days of the CrossFit Games. You should have seen me on Monday. I looked a lot healthier. So.
No, we've had numerous people say that like they've seen you getting into numerous classes, training events, getting coached by everybody.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started off this week with workout at Big Dane here in Madison, local affiliate. Amazing. I did a professional coach workout, which was awesome. I thought it was going to be a disaster because the workout was 10 rounds of 9 toes to bar, which I was like, okay, that's cool. And then 30-foot handstand walk, which is like just me embarrassing myself for the majority of the hour. Turned out to be amazing because I got the best hour of coaching that I've gotten in a year.
It's the best hour of your day?
Look at
Thanks
that.
for the plug. I appreciate that.
Can you control yourself for a second?
That's not
Starting now.
Yeah, exactly.
how was and then you were on the runner with Henshaw.
That's right. We did this really cool. I ran into Chris in Berlin, actually, and he did an amazing activation there. We were just chatting, and he said, hey, would you be up for a little clinic, a running clinic in Madison? And I was like, hell yeah, that sounds great. So, yeah, got on it. My wife and kids were here, so they got to watch / laugh at me as I was up there getting critiqued on my form. But
You're a runner, though.
I used to run a lot.
Yeah.
I used to run a lot. Before I got into CrossFit, actually, it was a majority of running and doing the global gym thing. So there's not many things in CrossFit I'm good at, but running is one that's a little bit better.
Yeah. What would you say is your strength in CrossFit?
Probably the longer aerobic stuff. I'm better at that.
Okay.
And your wife and kids weren't here last year, were they?
They were not. Nope.
So how's that been different?
Amazing. My kids. It's funny. My kids. We've watched with our girls the games for years, 3 or 4 years, and so they know enough to be really enamored by the experience. So they met Tia this week, and they met Brooke Wells today, and they met Noah Olson.
All the heroes.
Yeah. And they're just seeing their faces kind of light up. And one of the many things that I love about CrossFit is the fact, and our sport is the fact that the women are on the same stage as the men.
Yeah.
It's one of the very few sports out there where money and stage is the exact same.
And many events, they will compete literally against each other.
The 5K.
And the women will win.
That one woman, I remember, who won the 5K beat like 13 men.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, Emily Rolfe, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she's amazing. And did Danielle Brandon also have the best time on the gymnastics? I mean, she crushed the gymnastics skills.
I've judged her walking on her hands. It's like running.
It's crazy.
I'm like, why am I moving this fast right now?
I slow down. I can't keep.
It's cool for my girls growing up because for them, it's like, yes, of course, that's how sport works.
Yeah.
That's how it should work.
That's how it should work.
So anyway, it's amazing for my girls to get a chance to come here and experience it.
Do they understand, though, that Dad is in charge?
Well, they know better. I mean, they live inside my house, so they know I'm not the boss.
Mom was in charge,
So we last week, I often, my wife and I met working at Google back in the day, and so my wife's a huge help to me as I'm thinking about things, challenges, etc. And last week we were working through something, and my wife was helping me, and my daughter asked her, she's like, Mommy, you always help Daddy with work stuff. Why aren't you the CEO of CrossFit? So my kids are very
I've asked the same question, Don.
Yes.
You're
I'm like,
punished.
why?
Go to your room.
Where's Mrs. Faul? Where's Mrs. Faul when we need her?
That's right.
How is as of this recording, and there's one event left, just the finals.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
How we have seen 0 people work out. So
Yeah.
how's it been?
It's been amazing. I mean, incredibly competitive on the men's side, on the women's side. I think some surprises in a really cool and exciting way. I think for fans, it's been an incredible games. I don't think you could have scripted where we stand right now going into the last workout. And some incredible moments, throughout that I think, for fans going home and hopefully for athletes, they come back and I hope they've had an amazing competition. So
we were just chatting about the Roman deal, just the standing O.
Yeah, it's like, it's the, sport. You've got incredible high moments. And sometimes you've got incredibly hard moments as well, and I think we've had some of that this week also. And for Roman, I can't imagine, I think you can feel the collective emotion of the entire community seeing what his weekend has been like and seeing, I think we all know in sport you have, this happens sometimes,
right?
And, just being inside the Coliseum and watching Roman limp out to do the last event, do weighted double unders on 1 foot, to just gut it was, not a dry eye on the house. Like, it was an incredible moment. And to see, his courage and his will, but most inspiring to see every single person in the Coliseum on their feet. It's for me. I had this moment.
Let it go, Don.
I had this moment of thinking about like all the crazy stuff that happens in our world. Roman's a Russian athlete, etc. Like none of that stuff matters.
Yeah.
Like it is an athlete giving all of himself, which everyone in that room can connect with on an emotional level. It was. I will remember that, and I think a lot of people for a long time.
That's analogous to the affiliate, though, right? We had Dale King on earlier talking about drug addicts, but every affiliate has the doctors, the teachers, right? College kids, and we get it. And I think that's the beauty of CrossFit. I've never had to do weighted double unders, period, let alone with a broken foot. But I understand what that must feel like.
Right.
Emotionally, physically.
Yeah. And it's cool because he's an unlikely fan favorite.
Totally.
You're like, this
on
makes
paper,
sense.
it doesn't make sense.
Right. Yeah. And then like last year he breaks onto the scene. Everyone's like, we love this guy. Comes out and he's crushing it. And then you kind of watch that. But I think it speaks to all of this. Mm-hmm. The CrossFit in the affiliate, sport in general. It's sad, but it's also really cool. There's a cool moment in that struggle.
That's right. That's right. And to your point, like in some form, every one of us has been there in a workout, struggling, and having the people, in the affiliate next to you, lifting you up when you're struggling. It's incredibly special.
We see it every weekend in the level 1 when somebody finishes
people
the day 1 workout.
Gathering around, cheering.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Obviously, how's the first year been?
Amazing. It's been a blur.
What's your highlight? What's the biggest highlight?
That's
this show, and then what's second?
Exactly. Gosh, you almost said that with a straight face. For me, I'm going to choose 2 because one's too hard. I'd say, on one hand, you have been humbled so many times to hear these stories. I came back from the games last year.
Right.
I'm like to my wife, I've got to tell you 100 stories that are mind-boggling, that raise the hair on my arms when I retell them for the 100th time because they're incredible. I've gotten a chance to hear thousands of those. So members of the community, affiliate owners, coaches, whose lives have been changed, who have changed lives. That is such a privilege, and you need no reminder of how special it is. So that has been incredible. I'd say the second thing is for me this year, one of the things that we've been working really hard on at HQ and within the community is really bringing the community together. CrossFit is not HQ executing the CrossFit Games. It is not, changing lives and affiliates. Like everything we do in this community is a partnership. It is us and our affiliate owners and our coaches and our partners working together. And I think over the course of the year, I think we've made enormous progress, and it manifests here. Like the number of people within our community all working together to make this week possible has been a huge step forward, in my opinion, and hearing the product of that. So talking to the guys at Mayhem, talking to you guys who have been instrumental in helping support our activations here, talking to members of the community who think it's so cool that we can engage with athletes and work with partners and affiliate owners, get a chance to sit through workshops. That has been amazing. So for me, I feel really proud of the work our team has done, hustling throughout the year to bring the community together so that we can deliver this experience at the games, which I think should support and manifest much broadly within the community.
This is purely anecdotal, but I feel like this has been really well attended. Like early in the week, I was like, man, this is really heavy for like a Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like people here. But
yeah, the numbers bear that out. So,
okay.
so we've seen attendance in aggregate for fans is well above what we expected.
That's great.
Affiliates. So we've got. I haven't got the latest number, but yesterday we had already had over 1,100 affiliates check in. So you put that in context, that's almost 1 in 10 affiliates
10%,
globally are here in Madison,
awesome.
Wisconsin.
That's awesome.
That is mind-boggling. That's like one of those things that people outside the community would never believe.
They don't get it. Yeah, you're like
there's no chance you could ever pull that off. And then for a lot of our partners, we talk about like this place, Vendor Village, has been jammed all week.
All weekend. Yeah.
We heard a partner, shared with me, they did more. They had more traffic, more in sales on Tuesday that they did Sunday last year.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
yeah. Well, okay, well that checks out because like we were here. I think we were recording Wednesday, and clearly an event had let out. I think we were doing it with Henshaw, and all of a sudden it was just a sea of people walking through. I was like, oh my god, there's just people everywhere. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really really cool. As far as HQ, your role, because I listened to your podcast with Jocko, thought it was great. Obviously, you've been doing the rounds and going into summits and talking to people. But I don't know. I was curious, like, what do you see? I know what you've seen as, we want to do 30 million CrossFitters, but I guess I had a more, and I'm probably biased as he is too. Like, I had a more specific question. Like, what do you guys see as the future of training, right, inside of HQ, the machine?
Great question. I think, look, at the end of the day, one of the things that we've been talking a lot about is, and one of the tensions we have candidly is, I think, we've got these ambitions to reach a lot more people,
right,
and have a more profound impact on people's lives. So it's not just reach more people, but actually take what we have and look for opportunities to do it better,
right,
as a community. And in that, there's a little bit of tension of making sure that we preserve what is so special about what we built, the foundation of our methodology, the magic that is CrossFit, but also be willing and open to push ourselves and evolve. Like we are not going to reach the next step function set of folks if we do things the way we always have.
Right.
And in this community where people are so incredibly passionate about CrossFit and the methodology, that can be really tricky. So a big part of what we've done is just get a lot more crisp about who we are and what that special sauce is, so we can identify that, talk about it, make sure we preserve it. Nicole Carroll's been leading that work. She's done an extraordinary job. That gives us then the opportunity to say, okay, great. We now know, the kind of crown jewels. We know where we need to stay true. Let's look beyond that, where we can evolve and experiment. So when I think about, the future of training for us, a lot of it, I think, is doing what we've articulated from the beginning better. So, for example, the foundation, we look at the pyramid, the foundation of it's nutrition. Like, who thinks we're doing an extraordinary job on nutrition across the community right now?
No.
Very few. Yeah. Right? I ask affiliate owners, I don't get a single hand saying we are absolutely killing it on that front. So I look at that and say, okay, how do we better empower and equip our owners to support their members on their journey as it relates to nutrition? And the good news is, like everything else in our community, we do have affiliate owners who are killing it in this respect, who are doing great work. We have partners who have great programs. Our job is how do we capture that? How do we amplify and get in the hands of more owners? I think as it relates to evolving a kind of bigger impact, another big area for us that we've been thinking a lot about is education. And I know you guys just have recently invested in some stuff here as well. When we look at the state of our ecosystems, look, at the end of the day, the within the affiliates, coaches the ones who are creating the culture, driving the impact. And so the better our coaches are, the higher the impact on our members and our community.
Right.
And we've no question got, in my very biased opinion, the best coaches in the industry, the best coaches in the world, but we can be better, like no doubt. We talk about the L1, as extraordinary as it is great. Are you a world-class coach and you walk out of the L1? Like, no chance. Nobody would say that,
it's
right?
It's interesting you say that because we do have
here we go.
world-class coach shirt for you. We know you've taken your level 1 now.
I do not deserve this yet, so I'm going to hold on to this.
It's a journey.
You don't want to wear it. You don't want to rep the brand, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Give it to one of your daughters then.
Well, it's but in all seriousness, I think this for us is a really important focus. Like, coaching is a craft.
Correct.
And we want our coaches to be the highest expression of that craft. That requires time and hours and reps and a continued investment. Our job is to make sure that those resources are as high quality, as highly available. We need to set the conditions where our coaches and owners feel motivated and accountable to invest in the craft. Like, if you're an owner and your point of view is the journey in education stops at an L1, in our opinion, that's not good enough. That you are letting your members down. So, it's a two-way street. I think that's a big area that we're focused on.
Well, we had Austin on a couple of weeks ago, and he spoke a lot about that initiative where, he asked us, hey, if you had a family member in another state, what would you look for in an affiliate? And immediately we're both like, well, what credential do they have?
Go look at their profiles or bios.
That's something that you will be putting out there.
Coming really soon.
That's important because it's very easy to rest on your laurels of I've got the L1, what do I need the L2 or L3 or even L4? But like you say, Fern, you can't care and not care about that.
Right. Yeah, you can't say you care and only have your level 1 after 10 years. That's a bullshit statement.
Yep.
On that note, actually, I know it's out, but I haven't seen much, or I don't know that you've talked about a new affiliate map. That's live, correct?
It is. Yeah. I actually haven't seen it. It's been a little busy this week, but I haven't seen it. But our intent with that is, so part of our job is doing a great job of connecting people who are interested in CrossFit with an affiliate where that journey can be in. And candidly, we haven't done a great job of that historically. Our website has been too hard to navigate. The affiliate map has been okay, like B-, I would say. So we've been working on making it much easier for someone who may watch the games this weekend on ESPN and say, holy cow, I need to go check that out. Go to CrossFit.com. Our job is to connect them with an affiliate in their town and their community where that journey can be in. And so we've got some updates that are a refresh that make it easier for the affiliate to kind of represent, the opportunity that exists there. And then we are going to reward those affiliates who invest in that journey in education. So
as we should.
Incentivize it. Yeah,
that's exactly right.
It's okay. I don't want to say you get an upper hand, but like you kind of deserve a little bit of a nudge. Like why?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
And why are we doing that? Because at the end of the day, everything we do serves our members, and our job is to direct that member to the affiliate that delivers the best experience, and that creates the right types of incentives.
The other thing I didn't, Keith Knapp, he came out to my, I don't know when this was, but they were doing a commercial about something, and he was telling me about all the journal things that are not essentially they're like PDFs, and he's like, we have all of this information that has no SEO attached to it.
That's right.
It's like this is like a 6-month project. He's like, why don't we own the deadlift? Right, like on the internet, like when you say like it should be like CrossFit. He's like, nobody's probably printed more words about that over the past 20 years.
That's right. Yeah, and that represents, gosh, if it's only 6 months, I'd be psyched. I think we probably have years of work. We've got this, decades now of extraordinary content, right? Educational content that can help people. We've not done a great job of taking advantage of it. So we started a little bit of work there. That example with the deadlift, we did a little bit of work and went from like page 10 to page 1.
Which is wild because, I don't know, you worked at Google, you could speak to this better. Like, page 10 is not good.
Right. Oh, it's awful.
I've never gone past page 2.
He's like, wait, there's more than one page?
Like, before we talk about being in the top 3 on the, it's just like page 10.
You went from 10 to 1 on the deadlift alone?
Yes.
So, like, if you search deadlift, CrossFit would come up 10.
Yes, you'll see videos now on the first page of search results, right?
That's awesome.
So, that again, that
is it Dave Castro's 30-second deadlift?
We've been through that joke many times.
We're trying to get that removed from the internet.
That's right.
It's homepage, bam.
That's right.
Don's whole goal last year was how do we get this up? Dave, you embarrassed us.
The ultimate troll you could ever do. Yeah.
That's right.
What was something that you learned about affiliates that you weren't expecting this year?
I think coming into the role last year. When we looked at kind of the state of the affiliate community, we knew we had some work to do. It had been a few rocky years. I think we had a lot of owners who were asking, hey, what do the next couple of years look like? What are we working towards? What does it mean for us? And for us, a lot of our focus was on a really clear path forward, improving on our communication, a lot of tools and resources and service of better coaching. I think the thing that we learned actually in the beginning part of the year is how much of a gap there was, and I promise I'm not just playing to what you guys do, but on the business side. And
well, that's never been a secret, honestly.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, something that should have been more clear to me.
So meaning like you didn't know how, I guess for lack of better terms, like how bad or how much of an issue it was? I know it's an issue.
I would say two things. One, didn't understand how acute that challenge was, and didn't understand actually really how tractable I think the path forward was. Mm-hmm. So part of the work we did actually in the beginning of the year was talk to folks like you guys. We reached out to you guys and said, hey, you guys have been doing this for a while. Like, help us understand what you're seeing. Mm-hmm. Not only like, where do your clients start, but more importantly, what does their journey look like with you, and where do they end up? And how consistent representative of that is that? So, what was really, really encouraging for us was, yes, we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of owners who are incredibly high, obviously, on passion and start an affiliate not because they want to build a business. They start an affiliate because they want to change lives. What we know is that is necessary but not sufficient. So if you want to change lives and do that over a sustained period of time and be able to invest in things, you've got to run a good business as well.
We were literally just talking about this on the podcast before this. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is and I think for us, communicating that the right way, which is not like you need to invest to make more money, but this is, and by the way, this is thematically the same way we think about it at HQ running a good business. We have to run a good business. If we don't run a good business, we can't do the things that we care most about, which is invest in getting more people into CrossFit, invest in supporting our affiliates. The same thing is true. So that was a really big learning for us. And what was encouraging is we've seen, by virtue of what you guys have shared with us and others, that the affiliates who lean in and invest can have a huge impact. Huge impact, like transformative impact in a way that's so good for them and the overall community.
That conversation can be, it's a very slippery slope just because the CrossFit community at large is, I would describe them as very benevolent. Like they want to do good. And then you start, like, we got to talk about money, and everybody's just like, oh shit, I don't want to talk about this, man. Like, money's gross, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, no, it's not.
Yes.
What you do with your money can be gross. But I asked yesterday or the other day when I was giving a talk, and I was like, hey, is anybody in here an asshole? And like one hand went up. There's always one.
It was mine.
And I was like, of course, right? Know that. So running a good business would only make you a better version of yourself.
That's right.
It's like trying to communicate that, but it is a hard conversation. It's a very fine line you have to walk when having that conversation with affiliate owners and just like running a business. Like, hey, the P&L matters. Like, I know we don't want to talk about it, but it matters.
And for me, the best way I've found to communicate it is, look, money is not the end for any of us.
Right.
Like, it's not the end for us at HQ. Like, ultimately, I didn't take this job, and not a single person on our team took this job because they looked around and said, this is the best way for me to make money. But it is a means. Right. Money is a means. And it is a means for us to have the biggest possible impact in the world.
Right.
Fundamentally, the better business we run at HQ, the more people around the world that we can impact, the more lives we can change through CrossFit, the more work we can do to support our affiliates. The same thing is true at the local affiliate level. The better business you run, you can pour all of that back into reaching more people, helping more people, having a more transformative impact on their life.
We were talking to Dale King about that because the documentary that he's doing,
Small Town Strong
in Ohio, that's what we were talking to him about. Is like, we want affiliates to do those types of programs. We want them to to interact with the local chain of commerce. Like, we want them to interact with drug addiction agencies or the schools or whatever. But you can't skip getting your house in order first. You won't be able to serve all of those people if you're not running a sound business. So it's like, shore that up first. Now go do all the good stuff. Like, now you can really extend your reach and your impact inside of the community. And it can be, we have conversations with affiliate owners all the time. It's tough because they want to do those things. And
Totally.
I'm like, man, I know you want to do that, but the reality is like you got to earn it. You got to earn the right to go do those things.
Yep.
How are all of the? I've heard a lot of good things about the one-day courses, the fundamentals course.
It's been amazing. So we developed this one-day course, and we put it together for some work we've been doing with the U.S. Army,
Right.
Which has been amazing. And so we essentially took the L1 and said, hey, how do we take a version of this that we can deliver to service members to give them a foundation, the foundation of our methodology, a little bit about training, a little bit about nutrition, and equip them to go out and use CrossFit in service of their physical readiness goals. And the course has been, the feedback's been off the charts. We've had, I think, over 3,000 now. The service members go through it.
And that's been going for less than a year?
Yeah, less than a year.
Okay.
Probably six, 7 months at this
Okay.
point. So we're doing it at Fort Stewart, Fort Bragg.
They have started at Fort Bragg.
They have, yep.
Okay.
So we've done some there as well. It's been incredible. We have started to take that exact same course and make it available to members of our community. And it's a really good option for me. I took my L1 about a year ago. Mm-hmm. I've been in the community 9 years. I always viewed the L1 and all of that as for coaches. And
Right.
I never thought of myself through that lens. I took the L1 and I was like, gosh, I wish I had taken this 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
It as a member of the community, it connected me more. It gave me a lot of the foundation. It got me fired up and excited.
Right.
So the fundamentals is in service of that same goal. We've done it with some partners. We're rolling it out more broadly now.
That's cool. I tell all my members at the end, if you do CrossFit, you go to film, I think you should take the level 1, but maybe not the 2-day course. I think you could get most of the nuggets in there. You could get the genesis or the meat of the kernel in that 1-day course. You're like, oh, I get it. I understand what you're doing now.
Totally. And what we're doing is we're giving people, if they start with the fundamentals 1-day course, we're giving them a discount on the L1. So if they
that's
say,
right.
oh,
Yeah, yeah.
amazing,
Like
I want
the
to do it, great,
OL1.
parlay it into exactly the L1.
Yeah, we have a lot of clients that did the OL1 during COVID. And we're like, you get like $750 towards your
it's
level
like
1. You
great.
need to take advantage of that.
And you need to do the in-person course.
How many affiliates would you say you've been to in the last year?
That's a really good
Because you
question.
did a European tour, right? At
Yeah.
one point?
We did. So I've been to Australia, Latin America, Africa, Europe.
And many boxes, obviously, to each country.
Many
and continent.
boxes. So we visited a bunch, and then we always do. So anytime I travel, we spend time and do gatherings. So
Right.
we figured the most impactful way to reach a lot of affiliates is to bring them all together. So
Right.
we've probably through that touched, if I had to guess, 1,500 affiliates, probably maybe 2,000.
What's the commonality across affiliates around the world? And what's something that's
Yep.
a little different depending on where you are?
So one of the things that is so unique and obviously special about CrossFit is like, there's no two affiliates in the world that are exactly the same.
Right.
That's one of the things that makes us really unique from everybody else and really special, and we got to preserve that. But there are fundamentals that are the same. Like, you walk into an affiliate, this sounds cheesy, but like, you feel welcome in 2 seconds.
Whether you're in the
Just the
States,
same.
Doesn't matter.
Africa, it doesn't matter.
I was in South Africa for something, and I dropped into an affiliate in Stellenbosch, beautiful wine country, and it was me and probably 4 members going through this class, and older men and women, and they invited me to coffee afterwards. They had zero idea who I was. I was just like, the goofy American dude who happened to drop in, and I went and had coffee with them, like hanging out there. It was just incredible. Like, where else has that happened? So, and then I'd say, there are, I think, common challenges, consistent challenges with different flavors depending on which country you're in. So, and a lot of these align with what we're trying to do. So, hey, a lot of requests around, hey, how do we shape the misperceptions that exist with CrossFit? It being
Right.
dangerous, being intimidating. We hear that a lot. A lot of concern, I'd say more acutely international, around intellectual property. So other
IP
gyms
theft,
who
yeah.
are IP theft, who are stealing the brands. An interest in more access to more education.
I was going to bring this up. Do you think that is because, I would imagine there's some correlation, but I don't, obviously couldn't attach anything specific to it, because of the inability to affiliate in a lot of those areas due to things like exchange rate?
I think there is. So I think there's a number of factors. So some of it, in some cases, is acute because of price.
Right.
So exchange rates are really tough for us, and there's certain markets that have been hit really, really hard. So, even if you want to, when you can't afford, the local affiliation fee can be a challenge. I think a lot of it's cultural as well. It's funny, we met some owners in Brazil, and we've had a lot of IP theft issues in Brazil, and I
Although
think
is that the second biggest
It is not now. It used to be.
Not anymore.
It used to be. So it's on the way back. So our team's been crushing. So the last year has been really, really positive there. We're working back towards where we were. But COVID hit that market very, very hard. And as it started to bounce back, we saw...
It was bad before.
Yeah.
And then COVID crushed it even more. I was thinking about this the other day, like, idea, feel free to shoot it down and tell me I'm a complete idiot.
You're pitching him an idea right now.
I'm so in. I'm really set this up.
Listen, take it. He's just like he's like, can I tell you? He's like, can I tell you you're an idiot before you give me the idea?
I want to have this idea.
What would, so obviously we want to get more affiliates in, and obviously there's an issue there with price. It's a flat rate in a lot of it. Why can't you create a sliding scale? Say, hey, it's 1% of revenue up to $5,000, and then you're good. Mm-hmm. And you could factor in. Obviously, you're not getting as much revenue off of that client, if you will. But they're in now, and then that could potentially help you grow.
Yep.
Would you like to commit to that right now?
Perfect. That sounds like a really good decision on my part.
It's on the roadmap as of right now. Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but I imagine Don's about to explain the complexity of that we're overlooking.
No way. What I will say is we are actually doing a lot of work right now on pricing and looking at it internationally. And I'd say it's been a little while since we've done it. The biggest issue has been exchange rates. And so it's a very complex issue, as you can imagine.
Yeah,
so,
I'm not suggesting it's simple at all.
Yeah.
Your idea, you have it solved.
I think the sliding scale has real merit in a bunch of areas. So it's definitely something, in the long run that we think about. At a high level, what we're trying to figure out is there's this balance between, as we think about pricing, the net of our affiliation, whatever the fees are, right, whatever affiliates pay, that gets poured back into what we do for affiliates. Mm-hmm. So that money goes into marketing. That money goes into running the CrossFit games and having affiliate activations. That money goes into local affiliate gatherings. And so
building a team, all that kind of stuff.
Building a team. So what we want to make sure is that as we think about in a local market, we have a pricing model that allows us to reach as many people, that allows us to build really strong affiliates, that allows us to reinvest in those affiliates over time. And at the end of the day, most importantly, we want to make sure that the net of our pricing delivers extraordinary value. Mm-hmm. So whatever that is, we want an affiliate owner who can look at it objectively to say, I'm paying X a year. This is an awesome deal. And so what I've been really challenging our team the last year is you've probably heard me say this, every week, every month, if you're an owner, you should look at what you get from us and the value should be higher. So, now if we look at where we are today for an owner today versus last year, the resources you're getting from us, the toolkits, mentorship, starter kits, affiliate gatherings, all of the sessions we've run, we've done so much more. Like the value of affiliation today is so much more than it was a year ago. And a year from now, we want that bar to be even higher. And then when we look at pricing for each respective market, we want to look and say, hey, this feels right. Mm-hmm. It allows us to invest. It allows affiliates who run great affiliates to run a good business and reach as many people in the markets. And we got a bunch of markets right now where the pricing's off, and we got to adjust it.
Obviously, the stuff that you guys are building internally, you're like, hey, these are measurables. Either deliverables we're coming to the table with. Are you guys getting the same feedback from the affiliates? They're like, yes, we now feel like that you're engaged and trying to help us.
So I'm going to put this back on you. I'll answer it, and then I would love you. I know you guys talk to a lot of affiliates. I would say from many affiliates, yes, we hear it a lot. So we talk to a lot of affiliates and say, hey, thank you so much for what you guys have invested in. X has been helpful. I went to this event. It is night and day, objectively, what we get. And from a lot of affiliate owners feeling like we feel the momentum in the investments. Mm-hmm. We feel you guys doing more. Then there's some affiliate owners who are unaware of all the stuff we're doing.
That was going to be the one piece of feedback I had is the communication. Nobody would probably like the answer to that, which is just more emails. And everybody's like, oh, we don't want more emails. I'm like, shut up. I get 58,000 emails every single day. I read the ones that I want to read.
Yeah.
Right? So as long as you're not sending spam.
Because I am surprised. We'll be in the Facebook group or hear from someone.
Hey, do you guys know this?
I'm
like, are you living under a rock? How do you not know this is a thing?
I think there's, I'll say, I think, and you guys, again, check me on this. I'd say there's two reasons for that. I think one, there's work we need to continue to do to communicate more effectively. And I think there are channels that we need to lean into. I think we've not really done a broader business update. We've kind of an affiliate newsletter, but I don't think we've done a great job with the strategic, where are we going? What does the next 6 months look like? What are we doing? Why are we doing it? So that's coming out. So in about a month, we're going to do the first version. Yeah, so that's coming. That's super important. The other reason I think we've got this challenge is for a long time,
it was a broken relationship.
We didn't do anything.
Yeah, it went from
so
zero.
Affiliates are like, why would I check my email? There hasn't been anything for a decade. And so I think this habit of like, I'm going to check because there's something coming. We just got to build that momentum, and hopefully over time, more and more affiliates expect, as they should, that they continue to see updates for us.
Well, in the last year, CAP is free.
Yep.
Right, and for most affiliates, that is their affiliate dues in a year.
Yep.
Throw on top of that the summits you've put out there. You get one member that shows up at your affiliate. Oh, I heard of CrossFit.
Pays for it.
More than more than pays for it. So I think just those small things alone have gone a long way. And like you're saying, I think you've got the people that were disgruntled for the last 5 to 10 years, and they're
75% of those will always be disgruntled.
Yeah, but those are the
it's
people
the military,
that you're
right? It's
thinking
just like,
about.
oh, you're just here just to be angry. Okay, got it, right?
Yeah,
got it.
But you've certainly done a lot. That making CrossFit affiliate programming free for affiliates, that was huge. That was huge.
I want to go to the other end of the spectrum for what he asked, which is like, what did you not know? What did you come in and you're like, oh, that's actually better than I thought it was going to be? Because I would imagine, I'll put words in your mouth.
Yep.
You're like, I'm walking into a dumpster fire to some extent.
No, that's a quote. He said that.
Barbell spin out right now.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly, I started last year eyes wide open on 2 dimensions. One, haven't been in the community for 8-9 years as a member of an affiliate and traveling a lot and dropping in. I knew coming in that there are so many elements of our community that are so amazing and so magical and so transformative for people. I knew there's going to be a bunch of goodness, and I also knew eyes wide open coming in that like there's a lot of challenges. We've looking back last 4 or 5 years, there's been a lot of ups and downs. We've had issues that have, I'd say, pushed the community apart rather than pull folks together. And so I knew coming in that we had some challenges. I'd say the thing that if I had to pin it down to one thing that has been most exciting looking back is there were a lot of folks who I talked to who were very frustrated about, X happened in 2018 and Y happened in 2014 and this and that, and want more from HQ about, all these different issues. But I'd say for the vast, vast, vast majority of folks, even those folks who are justifiably frustrated about something, at the end of the day, everyone wants this to be successful. Like if you can get past, exactly, you can get past all the BS, all the nonsense, all the tactical things, like at the end of the day, we are all aligned around one thing. And so it's been really cool to see, as we've said, you know what, at HQ, we're going to be a better partner. We are going to welcome folks in. We are going to be better in communicating. We are going to do more to bring folks in the community in. We're going to communicate a vision that's been informed by people we talk to, that people outside of HQ can feel connected to. And it's been really cool for me to see folks respond to it and say, there's a little bit of skepticism, like, can we trust this? Like, can we lean into this? Can we work on it? But again, I think the games this week is evidence of it. Like the participation from every element of our community this week, I think, is a really big step forward, and I think we're bringing momentum out of the week.
Very cool.
Go
ahead.
Personal question. Do you want to go business?
For him?
No, for you.
We talk too much. He wants to talk to you.
I know everything about him. How's this been for you balancing life? This is a huge change, and you've traveled a ton. You've got a wife, 3 girls.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine you're exhausted.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Especially today, Sunday of the games. It's been amazing. I am incredibly fun. Like my wife is incredible. Like there's zero chance I could do this job. She's a big fan, so
go ahead and say that.
Well, she definitely does not listen to your podcast. Let's be clear.
That really hurts. I was hoping she was our number 1 fan.
No, look, I've got the best partner I could ever ask for. Yeah, this job is like, many of us in this community, like you can't give CrossFit 10%, right? Like it can take over your life in the best of ways and sometimes challenging of ways. My wife's been incredible, incredibly supportive. We've been able to figure it out. I've got 3 little girls. To be honest, when it started, it was hard for them. They went from, daddy being home
Yeah, you traveled a ton this past year.
Yeah, doing a lot of travel.
Were you doing a lot of traveling at the previous job or no? Not much.
A lot less.
Yeah.
That, and we had the double whammy of that job had less travel and then COVID where I didn't travel at all.
Yeah.
So my girls grew up in this world where like I was home all the time. So like just the relative change for them was really hard. But they were here this weekend, my wife and kids, and I'm trying to take them to as many events as possible.
If they need us to sign something, we'll take care of it.
That'd be amazing.
Anything you're most excited about going, kind of as we kind of lean into 2024 from now between the end of the year?
Yeah, I would say, in the past month, so we've been working really hard at HQ about getting aligned and going from, I'd say, a year ago, a collection of extraordinary individuals to now being an extraordinary team. And, we historically at HQ, we've been siloed. We have been through a lot. There was a lot of leadership changes, all incredible people, but we were not sprinting in the same direction. We were not, performing at our full potential as a team. And we've made a lot of progress. So the last month, the velocity of things that our team has done, from the ESPN deal to the updated affiliate map to working on lead gen stuff, to updates in the mobile application that enable us to do kind of global benchmark workouts, to activations here on site.
Just launched the store this week.
We just launched the store this week.
Like, we're not just blowing smoke. Like, you guys have done a lot, and I think it's easy to overlook because there's just lots of small things
just everybody likes to bitch,
coming out. But man, you just rattled those off, and I'm like, oh yeah, forgot you did that.
Yeah, and that's that to me, that is the exciting part. Isn't necessarily those individual things. Those are all great. What it is now is we have now upped our collective capacity and the pace at which we will ship things that help our affiliates, that help our coaches, that help our members at a much higher level. So I'm pumped about that. We will get, if we do our jobs well, we'll get 3 times as much done in this next year as we did in the last year. And we'll do it with a smaller team that is leaner, that is more engaged, that is more productive in their work. And we'll do it in part also because now we've got partnerships that we didn't have. The work we're doing with you guys, the work we're doing with other folks in the community, that'll help us kind of serve and support the community better.
Yeah, like it was cool to see Jocko was on the podcast earlier, like bringing in folks like that are just more eyeballs, like telling those stories, telling the stories like Dale King and things that he's doing. All of those things, at least to me, having been around, I've been in my affiliate for almost 14 years, all of those feel like the early days. And the community wants that. They want that kind of nostalgia. They're like, everybody wants to. They're like, listen, yeah, we got to evolve. We got to get better at this. Yep. However, like we still kind of liked what was going on in 2007 through 14.
This feels like that this year, though.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. And I was like, I think that is really important because if it starts to change the way it feels, I think it's going to be a rough road. So it's really cool for me to see those things start to come back to the forefront because I'm like, okay, that's on brand. That's over the target. Those are the things that I think help make the road forward at least less bumpy. There's going to be bumps for sure.
Always. Well, that's good to hear. And that stuff feels right because the alignment's there. Because we care about the same things. Meeting Jocko and got a chance. He was super generous. Got a chance to spend some time with him a couple weeks ago, and we were just saying like the fit, like who he speaks to and the way he speaks and what he cares about, the ethos. Gosh, it fits so well.
So well.
And that's the way it should feel for all of our partners. I was saying the other day, like we should be able to walk in, every one of us in this community, walk in the Coliseum, look around at the logos, the other folks who are activating, and be like, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Like we are all on the same page, and so. That's been a really cool thing to see. And they're all like, these partners are so fired up. Yeah. They're like, yes, this weirdly feels like home.
Yeah, like his marketing guys, he's like, we can't wait to get in here. He's like, this is amazing. He's like, we're going to talk to you guys. I'm like, we're here, man. We're here for it. So,
you going to be at any of the summits coming up?
I am. I don't know which ones yet. So I'll have to get back to you on that.
There's not one in August, is there? I don't think there is.
I know for
sure there's in Ohio in September, maybe in Germany. Okay. Anything else exciting going on?
Oh gosh, I mean a lot. The amazing thing and the challenge of the games is it's, as you can, like all consuming.
Right.
But that's the games is as cool as it is. It's not the real work. The real work is all the stuff that we do for affiliates, coaches. So team will go back. We'll take a breather this week and get after it. We got a lot of stuff coming. in all these areas. We've got more tools coming out for affiliates. We've got more work on the consumer side. So the stuff we've been doing in our mobile application is evolving pretty quickly. We just hired a couple of really important roles for us. We hired a new CMO who's amazing. We
I saw that. CMO, and then who's the second one?
New head of products, a new chief product officer. They're here this week, so they have survived. They had the same gauntlet of, your onboarding week is at the games, so they both made it. They're standing up on Sunday. So
you're hazing people. Is what's going
I wouldn't
on.
say it that way.
Hazing's not the right word. I get
Indoctrination.
It is the best possible introduction to this community.
You're introducing people. Yes, I get it.
One last question, and we'll let you go. We hear products a lot, and I think that gets misinterpreted. So I think you, from a tech background, have a different definition for products. Most people are like, "Well, we can sell more T-shirts."
Right. Yeah.
Wait, the CrossFitters got enough T-shirts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I had this moment last year where it was my second day actually, and the team's like, "Yeah, we should introduce you to the community. We'll have you, someone on the team will interview you, do a podcast." It was my first one. I think you guys were my second one. And
was that
you always remember
Stefan, right?
With Stefan. Yeah. So I show up, and for those of the folks who are listening who've not met Stefan, like, he's chiseled out of marble. Like, he is like
he's a giant.
6'5".
He's a giant man.
So I'm like, sweet. I'm gonna look like this is great, guys.
We're gonna
Thanks.
do this seated.
Can we sit?
Exactly. Like, can we cut the video? Can we just do audio on this? And anyway, we had this great conversation, and I was talking a little bit about, my excitement for CrossFit and the opportunity, for me coming in that I had seen, like, what got me so excited about the role. And I talked a little bit about, for me, the impact that CrossFit has on people's lives relative to some of the other places that I've been fortunate to work. So, working at Facebook, working at Google, companies whose products touch billions of people. Right. And I made this comment that, like, our product, like what we do, is so much more foundationally transformative for humans, for people, than anything that those companies do. Right. And these are companies that have been so successful, they literally touch billions of people. And so, we had that conversation, and right after the podcast, someone on our team's like, CrossFit is not a product. I was like, great feedback. And that was actually incredibly helpful for me because, language matters and words matter.
I do remember some of the like, what is this product bullshit? Or is this like, I think they might be talking past each other on this one.
Totally.
But what does that look like inside of the organization when you...
when I say product, yeah, for sure. So for us, we are, we're in the business of changing lives and impacting lives. And technology for us needs to play a really important role. And for us, it's, I'd say at a high level, it's twofold. One, technology can be really helpful in enabling scale. So how do we take what we have that today requires a lot of resources, a lot of investment, and how do we get it in front of more people by creating great technology solutions? And the second thing we can do with it is just enhance the overall experience. So for something like the affiliate map, how do we make it easier? So if there's a member who wants to connect with a gym, how do we make that experience as simple as we possibly can so that they can go experience CrossFit, in that local affiliate? So we've got a team of folks, their job is to think about the problems that we want to solve. They partner with our engineering team who actually build those solutions, and then they partner with the teams, our business teams, to make those products available.
That's cool. And then, because one of the other newer, Kathy Borkowski, is... she works in the products.
She does, yeah. She's one of our senior product managers. Yeah. She's been amazing.
That's the woman you served with?
Yeah, I told her this morning. I was like, hey, what company? And it turns out she was one of my firsties when I was a plebe at the Nail Academy.
Is that right?
Yeah.
She's responsible for you, or how you turned up?
Yeah, so...
Okay.
Don't hold that against her.
We need to have a conversation.
So it turns out it was a bad hire.
What's one fitness achievement you have in the last year that you're proud of?
Ooh. Actually, I would say this week, as I mentioned before, like, I've got a banged up shoulder from rugby a long time ago, and I've never, like, stuff, on my hands, getting upside down has always been really hard for me. And the other day, I got my first, 7 feet of handstand walk.
That's how it starts.
That's awesome,
yeah.
Great.
Yeah, so I'm like, I never thought I would do that ever. And, Andrew on our team got me through it.
Andrew Charlesworth?
He was
just
incredible.
I can't believe he didn't bring that up when he was talking about it.
Amazing.
Do you feel an obligation? Do you feel a pressure as the CEO?
Of course.
Do you really? I mean, look, you were fit prior to this.
Well,
here's
what I would say.
You definitely look fitter this year.
I don't feel an obligation to be fit. I feel an obligation to embrace and show what's possible. And in my version of that's going to be super modest. But like if there's another, 47-year-old dad out there who hasn't experienced CrossFit before, has little kids that he wants to be able to like run and chase around, I want to be an example for him that you can achieve great performance that, has a huge impact on your health and your life. And then look, I think another part of it is for all of us, what we learned early in the military, like leading from the front and getting after it. Yeah. And I think for the community, it means a lot. I think for the team, and selfishly, I love it. I mean, that's why I'm here. I absolutely love it. It is my favorite part of this week is getting those workouts, doing the affiliate workout, doing the coach workout.
Yeah, it's, I will tell you this, I think it goes a long way. Not just the working out portion, but the, what I see when I've seen you at some of these is like, there's a guy that's coachable. I think that speaks volumes to the community at large. And like, okay, that checks out. That's cool. So
cool.
We've heard nothing but great things.
Yeah. So,
well, thank you guys.
Obviously, if there's anything we can do for you, let us know, please. Looking forward to all the things that are coming. Enjoy the rest of the game.
L2 before next year's podcast?
Ooh, that's a good. I got to get some coaching reps in. That's my problem.
Hey, I think we might be able to help you out with that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We got a new product.
That's awesome.
Check it out.
Yeah. All right. So there we go.
Awesome.
We appreciate you wrapping up our year.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
really appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Till next year.
Till next year. We'll see you guys then. Thanks for checking out this episode of the Best Hour of Their Day podcast. We appreciate you listening and choosing to have us help you in your passion for coaching and affiliate ownership. You can find more episodes just like this on all podcast platforms. If you're interested in learning more, you can reach out to us on any social media platforms, or you can visit www.besthouroftheirday.com to book a call. If you found this episode helpful for you, please share it so that we can help other coaches and affiliate owners to help build a bigger and stronger CrossFit community. Thanks for listening.